So yeah, Barbara, we're just moving up to the knees now, but I love incorporating the leg loops behind the heart. And now you've come into a bigger back bend, and then you can hold on, and you can use the hand holds or the webbing for that, which is beautiful. And now I just want you to have some more free flow play. We've been having some great conversation, but I usually let the body come into this rhythm wave of like curling in and then arching and rolling back down. And just go through the process of giving your body a chance to express and explore. So really that's all we're doing by awakening the potentiality.
I'm loving this heart opening here.
Yes, yeah. So we're just giving the body a chance to express and explore and play in new ways that encourage these multidimensional movements because we have more freedom and more space. So the support of the table, the suspension of the swing, and the spiral movements are opening up different spaces. I can see already that the work we did with the hub of the belly, the hips and lower back, is freeing up the neck and the shoulders.
This is what my body wanted to do.
Yeah, and we're working with spreading the fabric out. So we can go from the knees to the heart to the neck and feel this dynamic tension. So one is pulling away from the other, giving us room to push and pull in the space and play. She's on the table, but even if she pushed into the back of the knee, she could lift up and her hips could float in space, which would create more tension on the neck if she wanted it. Or she could deeply relax into the table and have just a little bit of tensegrity and tractioning happening here.
I'm loving this, almost like a, you know, like when you twist the towel, what's that called?
Wringing it out.
Wringing out,
Yeah.
thank you.
Indian burn.
Wringing out the vagus nerve.
Yeah.
And like I say, this is gentle. It's very gentle.
But the tractioning of the skin, because the fabric is acting like an interplay between the fascia, is what is creating the big release. Instead of just digging in, it's actually soft and holding and supporting, and I'm coming in and just assisting the movement by allowing there to be more spin at the edges where the energy gets stuck. And you can see her whole body twisting and turning. So it's not just the neck. That's why we like working with double points here.
Now this is almost impossible to get in a movement.
Absolutely.
There's absolutely no way you could get this. But yet, I feel like it's balancing the left and the right hemispheres of my brain.
That's right.
And also the vagus nerve has two branches, one on the left and one on the right. So it's actually bringing the two branches of the vagus nerve into harmony.
That's right.
Because we tend to be more in sympathetic, which means we're busy. And so that one gets overstimulated, right? And so when you do this and bring the vagus nerve back in to some kind of harmony, the right and the left sides, right? It feels like that. It feels like,
yeah. And see the whole rhythm wave moving through the body. Because it is like a seesaw. Whatever happens in the neck and shoulders is happening in the lower back and sacrum, with the heart as the hub. So when we allow the movements of the body to be more like we're in water, this fish-like movements, it allows for the spine to start to release the stuckness that happens in between the vertebrae by hydrating the discs and lubricating the joints.
that feels really good.
And we don't have to do very much, so I'll just let you know as a practitioner, this feels so good on my body. It feels good to be in the interplay and interface with her releases. I can feel it in my body, and it truly feels effortless. It is such a delicious way to work.
Right.
And my job is really, instead of a lot of manipulation, is deeply listening, watching, exploring with her, noticing, reinforcing the release that's happened by bringing more attention to it. Particularly right here. This part of the body, but it's also because the skin is so exposed, I can just see massive rushes of heat, which is just one of the ways that energy transforms and exchanges, right? So this energy has been released from this part of the body, and it'll off-gas through physical sensation. It can off-gas through laughing, crying. Any sort of emotional release is also welcomed here, because depending on which level and layer of the energy body that pattern is stuck in, we can have some pretty cathartic experiences. The assimilation of unprocessed experiences that we sometimes refer to as trauma, that we like to release those dysfunctional patterns that haven't been fully integrated, so we free up the energy.
I can feel a lot of movement happening in my inner ear right now.
Yeah, so the inner ear is connected to the eyes,
Yeah.
you know, so the jaw, the neck, they're all connected to the hips. The jaw represents the lower back, same holographic mirroring in the upper and lower bodies. And we didn't do very much, just, you know.
And it feels like I had a very deep body session.
Yeah, and it already just like 5 minutes getting in the swing really makes some profound shifts and changes. And obviously this has been a little bit longer, but what I love about being on the table is I'm allowing her to rest, pause, and integrate in between movements too.
Right.
This is really key.